Hey, first thing, before you guys ask a question, could you just introduce yourself for me just to put a face and name and all that? Appreciate y'all.
Other people were patting balls. It's a problem. While many people assumed that Shedeur Sanders would do phenomenal up there in the bright New York lights for the Giants, it seems like they found their Anakin Skywalker in Mr. Jaxson Dart. Now, I've had a lot of criticism of Jaxson Dart. I've had a lot of praise for Jaxson Dart. But I think that the situation that he's in, if you take everything away, it's pretty good. First round draft pick. You don't have the highest amount of pressure, and it seems like Brian Daboll is really behind his guy. And more importantly, he's got a little rookie class here with some ballers. Obviously, Abdul Carter on the defensive side. He's got his whole number situation. That's a separate video. We're going to do that. But I'm going to talk about these two boys right here. The Cam Skattebo, right? The Skittle and Skattebo, right? Probably one of the most underrated running backs coming into this college football season. But, clearly after the college football playoff run with the Arizona State Sun Devils and his season, even at Sacramento State and his legendary high school mixtape, he has become a household name. Now he's rocking the double fours, which is very, very synonymous and very important to the Giants fan base. And then you got this man in 6 with all the controversy. Some people overhate him. Some people overrate him. I think the kid can throw a nice ball. So we're going to watch some tape on him. We're going to watch, specifically, we're going to watch some tape on Jaxson Dart at minicamp, right? And then we're going to watch some tape with Skattebo at minicamp, as well as a little tape from both of them doing some bag work on what they do good and bad and get into it. I think Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo have a chance to be a terrific twosome on the offensive side and really bring a different style, a different flavor back to the Giants. They've been in a bit of purgatory that Danny Dimes has put them in. So if you enjoy these types of football videos where we break some things down, look at some things from different angles, like this video, dislike it if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Let's hop right into it. Now, a lot of my disciples, my Dart disciples, we're very excited seeing this man out there. The kid said the aura was unmatched, but more importantly, as you can see, the head coach is having a great time. He doesn't feel like he is in Danny Dimes' purgatory. He feels like not only does he have a guy that he thinks can play some foosball, almost more importantly, right, for a head coach and for his bald head, because, he ain't got no more hair to pull out, to keep him the stretch at a certain level. A guy that you like, too, and he definitely seems to like him, and he's got some moxie, right? Everybody was absolutely creaming their pants when they saw him hit the with that hitch, and then that ball spin, that's smooth, man. Now I will say that if a ball pat if a ball pat slows you down, and he ball pat and spun it, throw a nice little ball too. But I'm just saying, I don't know if other people were patting balls, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Here's this beautiful rope that he throws, and again, guess what he does? He does pat the ball, ladies and gentlemen, but a beautiful. I mean, that thing's a rope. He's got great velocity. He's got great trajectory. That's what he does best. That's what he did at Ole Miss best. And interesting enough, if you are a Giants guy or just a Dart disciple, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's a big. What do Star Wars people say? I don't know. I'm trying to make a good Star Wars joke. Jaxson Dart became the first quarterback to ever achieve a perfect 100 SPF score, which predicts the future success for NFL players. He has been dead on balls accurate. Now, again, the same thing that y'all said in my Shedeur stuff when people said that he won the day. It's just routes on air. He's not throwing against anybody. Let them put the pads on, right? Say all that stuff. But here it is. The SPS Star Predictor Score is a test that simulates the potential score for players to try to predict. Jaxson Dart is the only quarterback to ever achieve 100 SPS score. He scored higher than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's scored higher than everybody if it's the highest score. But Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, all that other stuff. So I don't know what this SPS thing is. I will advise you that 2 years ago, they tried to act like CJ Stroud was mentally deficient because of some other test. I don't know. It wasn't Wonderlic. It was some whatever thing. Q7 test, right? They said that he scored the lowest, whatever. Then he went on to have a historic rookie season for my dang Texans. So, I don't know. But this is what the people are saying around the league about Jaxson Dart. It says Jaxson Dart reportedly has several people within the Giants organization believing that he has the talent to be the Giants starting quarterback this season. Now, they have, talk about the Browns starting quarterback room. They've got a quarterback room. You got Russell Wilson. You got the greatest motivational speaker of all time in Jameis Winston. And then you got this Sis Lord in there. What's going on? I think there's another gentleman, I forgot. One source close to the situation believes Dart raw arm talent is exponentially ahead of the rest of the Giants quarterback room, which includes Russell Wilson. crazy. Oh, Tommy DeVito, James Winston and Tommy DeVito. Dart reportedly turned heads through Giants rookie camp, going 8 for 10 during the first practice and 7 for 13 in the second practice, including a 46-yard touchdown pass. Brian Daboll believes the Dart has the potential to have a similar career trajectory as that of former apprentice Josh Allen. That's some hefty, lofty expectations. Recent data actually suggests that Dart could end up having a better career than Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. The Giants' rookie quarterback could never have dropped out of the should have never have dropped out of the top 10 picks. I'm not sure about that because when you look at games like this Florida game here, right? Quarterback Jaxson Dart versus Florida. And I want to point this out, not because I'm a hater, but I don't like when, I try to be fair with Shador. I'm going to be fair with Jaxson Dart. There are reasons why people thought that Jaxson Dart wasn't a first round pick. And this game was one of the biggest ones, right? We can talk about the fact that, all his touchdowns were against terrible talent. And anytime he had a real SEC game besides Georgia, he absolutely shrunk and just, disappeared. But how about a middling Florida team who was dealing with back-end injuries for the entire season? Florida was dealing with secondary injuries, actually just injuries in general the entire season. 41, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, 10 carries for 92 yards. The dude's going to put his heart on the line when he can. This is the game where the fourth quarter is referenced so often, so we'll get that out the way. Final 2 drives, putting the ball in harm's way multiple times. Now, we can't, we got to go very slowly here, but we have to admit or admonish, right? This is what it looks like when Jaxson Dart is put into similar situations that Shador Sanders had to get put into, right? You have an SEC offensive lineman, not a Big 12 offensive line, right? So he gets absolutely smoked. He just gets cooked. Not only does he get cooked, but the running back gets cooked. So again, this is not his fault. This is bad protection, completely breaks down. He runs, and what does he decide to do in the face of pressure, right? Where, again, a lot of people say, people take too many hits. Some people need to throw the ball away. Well, when you throw the ball just to whoever, right, I'm not sure how positive that is, right? And then on top of that, we get here. And again, not his fault. The pressure gets there. He's got a bit of a clean pocket. The clean pocket. He steps up to it. Gets a little muddy. But what are we looking at right now? What did he see? Can we not take a step? I mean, you're Quinn Ewersing it right now. I'm about to step into a sack. Can we not take one step to our right? We're what I'm saying, where the pocket's a little cleaner, get this off. But I don't think that's really important. I think more important, as you see the RPO. And as you see, if we look at, I don't know how, this video is kind of small, so you can't see. This is an RPO, but on top of that, does his head ever move off of the target? I don't think his head ever moved off of that guy that he wanted to throw to the entire time. Doesn't look at the single coverage. You have one-on-one coverage, and this safety is still in the dead, is flat in the middle of the field. Did he even look at the pre-play? Like that's my thing. Look what you have. You have this DB kind of shading over your X with this or your tight end. You have this safety who is super tight to the formation. Your safety is inside leverage of that same tight end. They're basically stacking him on the middle of the field, and it leaves this basically with a one-on-one. So if you're going to throw it up, he didn't even look to see where he wanted to throw it up. He said, "Oh, I like this triple coverage. Oh, I like that even better," and it's a pick. Right, so let's be honest as to why. And again, this is showing you technically what's happening. Right, they basically roll into a cover 3. That's what happens. They roll into a cover 3. He becomes this basically hook curl defender. Right, and he's the deep third here taking the corner. So that's basically one-on-one. Your safety's in the middle of the field. Right, you have this safety taking the other deep third. So everything on this left side is, look at this. You're gonna hear some defenses or sometimes reference a box and triangle. They got the box and the triangle. They got a goddamn parallelogram on this. They got a pentagon on this month. I don't even know what he was looking at. And then on top of that, do you see? If you just, what are we throwing? Even he's open now. Even when he decides to throw this ball, you have this crosser wide open but you throw a pick. So yes, there are reasons to feel like Jaxson Dart's not a good quarterback. Now, do I think he's terrible? No, I don't think he's terrible. I think that, again, if you get put into a better system that's not an Ole Miss system that is notorious for failing quarterbacks and not equipping them for what they need at the next level, the kid can throw a ball. The kid can throw a football. He can throw. I stopped calling him a kid. The young man can throw a football. And again, people are already having nothing but seemingly positive things to say. Here he is whipping it around here. He's bouncing around. It seems like the coaches enjoy him. It seems like the people enjoy him. It seems like he's a real deal giant, right? So I don't point out those things to say that he's a bad player. I point out those things to say that don't look at us crazy for thinking when people had Shador over him, or the reason why Cam Ward or whatever. Even if he becomes a great quarterback, understand that what he put on tape was rudimentary stuff that has people scratching their heads. Like you put the ball in odd predicament situations in a one-read offense. Well, not a one-read offense, in an RPO offense that should be able to be suited to your strengths. But again, his running ability, I do think that needs to be like doubled down on. That is going to allow him to do a lot of different things, and it's going to give him. I know Danny Dimes is fast, right? But he was almost like an undercover athlete, whereas Jaxson Dart is very front-facing with it, and he can really wiggle and get it going here. So let's see. A little snippet from Jaxson Dart on Brian Daboll, and then we're going to go over and talk about the man
What kind of
Skattebo.
feedback were you getting from Coach Daboll on the field today?
Yeah, he coaches me up like every second I'm around him. He's the guy that will walk in a room, say, goodbye and whatnot, and then he'll come back 30 seconds later because he has an idea. So he's constantly, coaching me, and I think that's what I want to be around. I want to be I want to be coached the hardest. And I feel like that's going to help me excel at the highest level and help me reach my potential. So there's not another coach I'd rather be playing for.
It's great to hear that, right? I think that's important to not just be in a place that that you enjoy, but also a place where it seemingly, again, he's you know what I'm saying, as you see the more coaching there, where it seems like not only the coach is engaged, but he's engaged. So if you're a Giants fan, I think you've got to be happy. I would be happier about this psychopath here, Mr. Cam Skattebo, just to go over the stats, right? Absolute legend. Sac State, 55, 520, whatever. Then you go crazy at Sac State for 1,300 yards. Okay, cool. Then you Arizona State, new offense, getting adjusted, 4.8 average. And then, how about 1,700 yards at Arizona State? 21 touchdowns. Get put on the face of the map, and then go ahead and wind up with the gosh darn Giants. Running back, Arizona State, Cam Skattebo, running back, forced 110 missed tackles in 24. High-end contact balance plus low pad level, and elite footwork. I think the most underrated thing, and I think Cam Skattebo was even going to say that, the most underrated thing about him is his footwork, dog. He is, right, don't be quick, but don't be in a hurry, and he is quick and decisive, right? It's almost looks like it's an inside zone read look, right? And he's going to take one step to help his clear out block here, and people are already daggering through. Okay, I can't really run this zone. Boom, I'm bouncing here. Boom, I'm bouncing again, and I'm just gonna make my body just move and maneuver so you can't tackle me in the hole. You can't tackle me in the hole. I'm gonna do some wizard stuff. What is this? Look at his body. I turn my body to the side, and then somehow finds his way to keep his feet going. He's an absolute unit, psychopath, amazing. I think he's going to do great things at the NFL, and he just likes running through people's faces. This is how many snaps, or sorry, not how many snaps. This is the mindset Cam Skattebo is entering.
How do you keep finding the chip on your shoulder and to prove people that you can still do more?
Yeah, how many snaps of the NFL have you seen me play? 0, right? I've proved nothing. I've proved what I am in college, but I've proved nothing at this level. So now where I'm at, I have to prove myself. And if that's for 5 years or if that's for 10 years, I'm going to continue to prove myself. I'm the best, do it for the longest. So I'll continue to do that and just work my butt off until time comes.
Now, Cam Skattebo is going to have to also be able to embrace what it means to possibly be in the special teams, as you see him taking special teams rep. Wow, the height difference is crazy. But as you take him, hey, man, it's good vibes with the rookies, man. Even Abdul Carter pushing around, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Cam Skattebo getting the dap up. I think he's a guy that will embrace that largely. But even on a better scale, right, he's a guy that's going to just want to put it whatever it means, right? Like he's going to do anything that is asked of you, or asked of him rather, to ensure that he can get the maximum out of his career. So there he is too. Bold. This is a bold take from someone. And there he is, catching the ball. Look, Cam can catch, and he can throw the ball too. He can catch the ball too. For someone who is known as a bit of a power back, this stockier guy, right? Not the fastest guy. It seems like you don't even have to take him off of the field when it comes to the things he does. He's an absolute electric factory. And as someone who had to watch Texas almost lose to that scrappy Arizona State team, I want to end this video off on Cam Skattebo saying this, man. First half, you come out. I was feeling good. I'm feeling nice. I'm over here talking the Big 12 like we weren't just in the Big 12 last year. I was like, get that Big 12 out of here. It's the SEC, son. And then the second half happened. I wanted to say, Cam wasn't all that, but clearly the bigger reality, it was not that Cam wasn't all that. It was that Cam was dealing with something serious, or dealing with some bubbles or whatever he was saying. He had some issue. So when he came out in that second half, dog, I mean, just relentlessness, tenacity. Again, throwing the football, catching the football one-on-one with one of our better defensive backs and Michael Taft. Again, throwing the football against one of our better defensive backs and Andrew Makupa, and throwing a touchdown, doing what he can do on his legs, dragging people after a half where they were just beat down, and taking who was supposed to be this powerhouse of an SEC team to the last second in double overtime in the Peach Bowl. You got to give Cam Skattebo his credit, and I think he's well equipped to do something at a high level in the NFL. And if you're a Giants fan, I think that Jaxson Dart's going to be able to do that as well. I think more important right now, look, they're still learning offenses, learning defenses, is the fact that everybody seems to be in good spirits. Everyone seems to be very willing to do things for each other, willing to be engaged there. And I think that's going to take them a long way. The Giants need a new identity. Now that Danny Dimes is gone, and it's been a lot of suffering. So, hey, we'll see if y'all can do it. Comment down below. What's the over-under for how long until Jaxson Dart starts? He's starting this season. He's starting midway this season. Next year, they're going to really be patient with him. They're going to let, you know what I'm saying, is Giants country going to ride? Y'all let me know. Like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes and sizes, man. You're great. Continue to be great, even though you know you're great. I just had to remind you, man. See you next time.